Court, like
Hell,
family court.
yes. All day,
Yeah, I
baby.
think they do use
Wait,
family court, but
all day. All day
I mean,
long. They getting
I'm okay with that. I think it's an economic positive for us to have a labor force that is untaxed. We are overtaxed like a motherfucker here, and I view that as a net positive.
but that doesn't help me, Flo.
Right,
I'm
and
taxed.
those few people, Flo, I agree with you. It's just the rest that are the problem.
Well,
Yeah, that don't help me, bro.
and if one of them's a criminal, then deal with that, right? The crime is the crime.
Sure,
There's no reason.
That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now.
No,
crime
what's happening
coming in
right
here
now is
illegally
they're
is
showing up
crime.
at fucking schools and shit. What's
Yeah,
happening right now is
for
not
criminals.
going after criminals.
Yeah, for criminals.
At school?
Yeah.
They're in the
Where?
country illegally,
Show
bro.
me.
I mean, I'm sorry. You're on the wrong side
It
of it.
happened. It happened in the school by Cynthia's house. At Cynthia's
I-
school.
That
Wait, what
was
happened?
hearsay.
That was hearsay. Well, okay, but from somebody I know, right? Like maybe you don't think that it's real. You think they didn't go to school?
No, I know
Don't
that.
get me
I know
wrong,
they're
man.
going to schools right now. I've seen the
They're
video.
going to schools.
I know that. I don't know about
They
you. I
haven't-
mean, I didn't answer that.
Who
That way.
dropped?
Flo, don't get me wrong, bro. Is it
No.
harsh? Is it fucked up? Yeah,
Hold
it's
on.
fucked up. But guess what? These are the rules, bro.
Hold on.
It's just
No,
like, bro.
no, I don't give a fuck about the rules. Only, what's your favorite flavor of boot, motherfucker? My issue is that you've got ICE agents with guns raiding schools. That's fucking absurd. To get what? A hardened criminal in 8th grade? Like, that's bullshit. I got kids in school. I don't want her being that. She's already been around one raid. She doesn't need to be around another.
Yeah, I don't know.
If
the
we could
same
do it without
party who's
weapons, would you be
encouraged,
okay with it,
a
bro?
small.
Let me alchemizing
Alchemizing energy.
alchemizing energy. That's an interesting name. Where'd that come from?
Well, you know, they think I'm a witch, but it's okay.
You're a witch. They think you're a witch.
They say I'm a witch, but I'm not really a witch. But you know,
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, go on with your bad self then.
They okay, like
Oh.
it doesn't necessarily matter. They have the grounds to detain anyone to determine whether or not you're a citizen now. They will catch strays. Like American citizens already are catching strays. Indigenous people or whatever at risk of deportation. Will they fix that? Probably. But all of this to say that the party of small government, no like state intervention, is now cheering on effectively the Gestapo going door to door, your kids' schools, to dig through their lunch kits to see if they have their immigration papers. Like, I don't know why people don't see that irony. I think in my head that's fucked up.
Flo, do you want to read this one?
Thank you for Wrongful Rage for the 10 gifted memberships.
And
Open panel on an open panel inception. What happened? I don't even get it.
I don't know. I didn't know what that meant either.
Either way, I appreciate the support.
He must have got his bank
so
card
here's a
back.
question I have. I mean, I'm going on like the actual topic, right? Are revenge porn laws bad for society, right? So, did you guys talk about Nature Boy at all?
No. Ric Flair?
Who won that anyway? Who won the argument?
They
Flo, did
say
you
Flo
take that?
won.
A cult leader called Nature Boy, right? And he actually had a lot of like people like in his cult, and his whole thing was to get women. He was very like, I mean, he had like all kinds of diseases, and was giving them to the women and all type of stuff. And it was a really crazy lawsuit that happened. Not a lawsuit, but somehow he raped one of the women, and she actually went to the police, and he ended up getting life in prison for grape. So
All this from a dick pic?
well, revenge porn, Pr0n. Sorry, my bad. Revenge Pr0n, grape. He got life.
Life.
Look, think about
That's
this.
excessive as fuck.
Because you said, is that bad for society? You know that
That's
you're
you.
not aware of
Yeah.
that there is an actual person here serving life in prison for revenge porn, Pr0n, and supposedly grape, but really it was about him.
Sounds
being a
like
cult leader.
the grape portion of that probably carried the heavier sentences there.
But does grape give life?
Yeah, but
I
how
mean,
many
it can get,
counts of grape?
20 years. It depends how much revenge Pr0n was it like it depends on all the details. They're
So he was a cult leader.
yeah. So there's
really what
probably
they
a
did was
lot.
they utilized the cult aspect of how he did the cult members and how he was online and doing all this other crazy
Oh,
stuff.
that would be Rico. Rico would be involved on that. The Rico.
Depends on who
Yeah.
else was
Ended
involved
up
with him.
like
Yeah,
actually
whoever's
like
working with
giving
him.
him life in prison. So yeah.
So let me
So-
get this straight. He was using the images to somehow coerce women to get into his cult. Is that what he was doing?
This whole thing lasted about like 10 years, and he would be online. And pretty much, I mean, he had a lot of influence. He had like almost like I would say like maybe like members like in the thousands that were online giving him money, and then he had the core group that was in Costa Rica, and they kept getting kicked out of countries. They were gonna be going here, going there. Look up
it's a bunch
Nature
of dudes
Boy.
like that.
Yeah, I am. He
Tomato. Look him up. Nature
yeah.
Boy Carbonation, right?
Carbonation.
That's the name of the cult.
Yeah.
He probably
They wrong for joining a cult that got carbonation in the name. I ain't gonna lie. Like, why join that?
I ain't really sure.
It was first
Well,
called
I mean, we did follow the Kool-Aid gang, right? I mean,
I mean, like seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it got so bad. BBC came and like had to remove a person because their family member was a part of the cult.
Here's what he got convicted
Wait,
of. Count
BBC?
one. Oh, damn it, where'd that go?
Hey,
Like the Broadcasting Corporation?
Hey, Flo, did you win the debate tonight?
London, like UK.
I certainly think
Who
so.
found out the information?
I hope so.
Okay, here I got it.
Flo has it.
Count
Flo has it.
one. Count one is grape. Count two is false imprisonment. Count three is prohibition on neuter sexually explicit image. So there's so 3, 4, and 5 are all those things. So grape, imprisonment, and then 3.
And this was in the
counts of it.
United Kingdom, or was this here in the U.S.?
No, this is America, right?
It's in
So,
US.
so, do you think someone should get life in prison?
Sure.
That's up to the
I mean,
judge.
that
That's up
was
to
a
the
lot
jury.
of counts too.
Yeah,
like,
that's up. Yeah, that's
and
up to.
if they were able to prove that he was doing this to multiple people, and leading a cult, then obviously there's no rehabilitation coming from that one.
Well, you get sentencing guidelines. You got a whole bunch of other stuff there. I mean, if you get convicted,
Yeah,
he
got
that's a whole
slammed
other
at
thing.
sentencing because of the. He had several witnesses gave statements in court at his sentencing.
Yeah, that's what that was.
The super
That's
chat
got to
for
be like a
you,
special
Bob.
circumstance.
He,
when
he
you might not
didn't show
special-
remorse.
Oh, he didn't show remorse. Ooh, that's gonna
No.
hurt you.
Yeah, that's always bad. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna go to bed.
All
5:30.
All
right,
right,
take care.
Flo. I mean, Grid.
We love
See
you,
you,
Grid.
Legend.
Yeah.
Come fetch
Well,
me at the
probably,
border.
probably.
We'll make
See you
it to
guys later.
Mexico.
You're
Stay
all cool.
sexy, and remember, I will not
let me,
share your nude.
show videos that are crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know. But I have a video I can show you like how insane.
Anyway,
I'm good.
you guys be cool.
All right,
ya.
Greg.
All right.
Hi, Grid.
There are
I'm gonna have to
websites.
jump on Grid's platform. I'm gonna have to
It
jump
gets
on this
really
platform just
crazy.
for
It gets really weird. Like, watch this. Hold on. I don't know if you'll let me. Like, let's. All right, here we go.
Well, all right.
This
I'm
one
out
right here.
then. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Y'all have fun.
Yeah.
I
all right,
typically
man.
don't. It's
I'm
good.
gonna take off.
We
Might as
typically.
well.
All right, Resla. Thanks for
Later,
stopping
y'all.
by.
Later.
Yeah, we typically don't
Cheers,
pull up
Rez.
too many videos. What is happening?
I don't know.
Grid one left. He took his flock of
Peasants
boys
with him.
slaves with him.
Mm.
But Grid showed up
Sexually.
after them, so oh no, wait, he didn't.
Do you want to read this one, Grid or Flo?
Grid. Oh,
It's still your goal, you big powdered fuck.
That means your
Oh.
goal was listed as open panel.
Flo
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
feel
no,
bad
that goal
Sarah
expired.
wishes
I
you
haven't
were
set
Brad.
new ones because, like honestly, I'm not working very hard right now.
That's fair.
But I do appreciate it.
I'm gonna step off as well. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.
Oh, you're going to get some of that grid one action too, huh?
He must be handing out other people's nudes somewhere. They're all running to go see him.
On your Discord.
No, the whole it was a cluster. Trust me. I was watching it. I was just watching it. I'm sorry, but it was crazy.
No, it looks like it's crazy. I'd never heard of this guy.
I
And
have.
I'll need to like know that this exists. It's like a Jim Jones times 15 and 100. Like it was a mess.
Oh yeah, once you start holding people against their will, you run into a little bit of trouble.
He would like take their passports. And one time there's a one girl, like, actually the reason why I know this is because I was the one that tried to save and help people when they left. They came to
Were you in the cult?
I wasn't. I was the person that they came to my house when they left the cult and tried to like save them. But they were so
Oh.
indoctrinated that, man, he did a number on them.
How did
If you're
How did you
gullible
get in
enough
that
to fall
position?
into a cult, I'd imagine you.
I had been watching it for like years, and I got to see how he was treating them, and my heart went out to them. And so therefore, when like things what happened is when he finally like people started to leave, I was like, okay, well, I was like, okay, well, come to my
How
house.
did they know? How did they know to find you?
Well, because another cult member like came to my. It's a long story. Trust me. There's
It sounds like an interesting story.
It's a lot of moving parts, man. It is a lot. It's a lot going on. But I was just wondering if even on there's like this side of YouTube and there's like the other side. Okay, let me just say this. There's like the black YouTube and then there's like
Flo knows all about
this
that
YouTube,
side.
right? And this YouTube doesn't see that other stuff that's going on that side. And it's crazy. You have guys not have no idea.
Not a clue.
Crazy stuff going on it's like, man.
Would you be interested in coming on and telling your stories?
100%.
All right,
Yeah.
let me put my email backstage.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
steal
that
it
sounds
from
very
stage.
interesting.
It will blow your mind. It will blow
Oh, you just have to surrender your passport to Flo. That's all.
But no, I was like, man, you guys have no idea. I always wondered, do other people know what's going on?
It's crazy. Nobody. We were talking about this the other day. How I don't know if you've got the Ring camera app, but when I installed that a few years ago, I had no idea. There's murders going on all the time, all over neighborhoods, and you don't have any clue.
That this thing was on the news. It was on.
Oh, I don't watch the news. I'm not surprised I missed it.
With him was on CNN. It was like national news. It was national. Like, this is a well known. This guy is a cult leader. Like, he is so.
Well, I used to know a guy that he worked in a small group of people that would be paid to go rescue people from cults.
That's so interesting.
Man, listen, when you see how he was treating these people, it doesn't even make any sense.
Well, it's really hard in cults because usually people are adults and they're there on their own free will, but they're so brainwashed they don't leave. So you have family members that are really worried about them, who lose contact with them, and they contact the police, and the police usually can't do anything. So it's usually a really difficult situation.
Well, the people that was in the cult listen, they were living in a house in Georgia. All the neighbors in the neighborhood was like trying to get them out the neighborhood because they were just making noise and doing too much, man. And like, I think it got to the point where I think they were doing something and it got on the news.
There was a big one out in Utah a few years back. I can't remember the guy's name, but he had a pretty good sized following till they caught up with him.
The Mormon guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, what was his name?
I can't remember his name.
Is that the one in
Raging
Was he
Tomato?
like
I hope that you're looking
the
this
PDF
up. I think
one?
you're looking it up. I think you're seeing some stuff. I don't know. I'm looking at your face. I think you're seeing
I'm poking around. I'm poking around.
You're like, what?
I'm concerned.
Warren Jeffs? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's him.
But I know that, you know what I'm saying. I know you probably don't want to show it, you know what I'm saying? But I swear to goodness, like, it is crazy.
How'd you find this show tonight?
Well, Fatty.
Oh, we love Fatty.
Do you think you were? Was there some vulnerability that you had at the time that drew you into, like, I don't know, being sort of fooled?
Say it again.
Okay, maybe I have to turn up my volume.
No,
It
I'm gonna make
faded
my
off.
exit.
It was the
Cults is not
articulation.
my expertise. So
I've been thinking
All
about
right,
starting
Chris.
a cult.
yeah,
You already
you,
have one.
America does
He's not
everything.
kidding.
America just does it all the best, man. Even cults, you guys just killing it over there.
Killing the cults, man. Listen, all the cults are from like, man. Right now, America is the number one in cults. Okay,
But
See?
couldn't you almost
Number
believe
one,
that
baby.
YouTube would be like some kind of cult on its own? I mean, it has followers,
Very much so.
There are cult
subscribers.
followers on YouTube.
I
It's
mean,
called
it's like
nationalism.
YouTube is totally a cult in and of itself.
and
Nationalism.
listen, there's such a rabbit hole to go down. It's a rabbit hole when you actually find out, because when you go down this rabbit hole to find out what's going on with this person, then there's another rabbit hole about the people that's following them. There's a whole group, like a whole cult following that cult that like would track them down everywhere they went. It's so crazy.
Well, look what Jim Jones was able to do with the
They could like be
Kool-Aid.
taking a picture, like they could be like talking outside and have a tree behind them, and guess what? They will figure out that tree and be like, "Oh, this is where they at." I mean, it got so crazy. Yeah,
Those
they
geo,
It got like that.
those geo.
They were in
location
South
people.
America. They were all throughout South America, and then these people will find out where they were in South America, and they kept getting kicked out of different countries in South America. Like
Scientology does that too.
one time, they got kicked out of off a plane because their underarm was taken.
Was there what?
The whole plane said, "Listen, they gotta go because they stink." Because they were trying to be naturalist and like not use deodorant and whatever.
That's gross.
They kicked them off the plane, y'all.
Alchemizing, what I was trying to ask you was what kind of vulnerability do you think people have to get into cults like this? What is it that makes them say, red flag, but that's okay. Red flag here,
He
red flag.
found women and young people that was like homeless, young women that were like probably like 19,
Vulnerable.
18. What is that frontal lobe
Manipulation
that hasn't,
tactic.
developed yet? You know what I'm saying? Then it was one older woman that was there, but she passed away because he told her that she needed to eat potatoes instead of like taking her medication. So
That's not funny.
they had this whole thing called the B6 diet where they would just only eat potatoes on this diet. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. Like the
fact that she would believe that, being a normal educated person, even if she was just dropped out of school in sixth grade.
Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? She rested in peace. Yeah. She had
And shout out to JP Belly for your membership. Welcome, my friend. And for Flow State, Wrongful Rage gifting 10 more.
10 more.
Damn.
He's kicking you off in the right direction.
He is. I'm gonna have
I gave you a 5.
Wrongful Rage. If you want to choose some custom emojis, I have room to upload more. That's what I was doing last time.
I do got a complaint. You need to price that like you did before.
So the thing about memberships is you can once you have it set, you can't change it. You have to undo the entire stack and redo it from scratch. So
are you serious?
Yep.
I think
What a
Wrongful Rage
pain.
is in love with you. Either that or he's rich. I mean, he's got.
Well, it
He's
could be
rich.
both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Oh, that's great to know.
Let me tell you
You ain't
something. Listen, that was the most entertaining cult I've ever seen. They had my attention for years. I was just watching them. That was the most captivating. I would be up there every day, like, okay, what's going on? What's going to happen next?
Joe
I don't live that far from who are the ones that would like protest at
Oh,
Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, that was cringe. Like, of all things to do,
military
you're
funeral.
showing up you're showing up at funerals. That's fucked up. Vengeful Truther coming in with his membership says, "I'm a cult of personality." Do.
Flow
personality.
Oh no, Eligio Bishop, aka
never mind.
Nature Boy, said that he is Christ. he is the chosen one, and they believe that he was God, and they believe that he was Christ. Yeah, they really
You know
believe.
what? This should just be enough for people to know that, like, the standard is pretty low for intelligence.
It is.
And like
It is.
critical thinking, common sense. Like, who the fuck says, "Oh, I should just eat potatoes all day"? That sounds like a great idea. Like, and who
Exactly.
becomes agreeable to that without like blinking an eye? Like, yeah, you're right. Or let's drink Kool-Aid and put on our Nikes and go to bed. Right? Like, I mean, at some point, there's got to be something in that brain that ticks.
And
There's
I
really
think
not.
I
But
think it
there's another thing
shows.
brewing. There's another thing going on.
I think
Like,
it
It's
shows how
the
like
you know,
desperate
this
and
side of
lost
YouTube, you have no
people are
the
too.
idea what's
the
going on
belonging. Yeah,
YouTube.
it's a belonging.
People are
I
There's a
so
feel
need for
important.
desperate for
Maslow's
a
hierarchy
bigger
of needs.
meaning to life. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I talked over you. You go, and then I'll reiterate.
I just feel like so many people feel like lost and are looking for like something bigger than them. Like they want to be a part of something bigger, like more meaningful than them, and they're just desperate to be a part of something because they can't find meaning in their own lives.
No,
It's
no.
sad.
What was happening is that most people that joined the cult had STDs, like herpes, and different things, and they were trying to get healed, and they felt like that if they took the B6 diet, that they would be healed of their herpes and AIDS and all those different diseases they had. But they were all screwing each other, and so when they would like leave,
Jeez.
oh, this is really true. This is what was happening. They had
This sounds like Flo's coat.
he had STD. Listen, the one girl that like actually she got so sick from STDs and all this other stuff that she had an unidentifiable thing that happened to her.
Damn.
And what's it called when a person is like on when you about to die? What's that thing called? Hospice. She actually went into hospice because her she caught something that there was
Well,
no.
that's what killed Al Capone was syphilis.
I don't even
He
think it was
said something people have never heard of.
what maybe it was. I don't know what it was, but the thing is that
She had so many, it created something new.
it made a whole new thing.
It's super AIDS. It's airborne.
The syphilis complex 46.
This
When,
is not any
turned
type
into
of
its
medical
own-
advice, ladies and gentlemen.
You
Please
seen
be wary.
28 weeks later. This is how this
Always
happens.
seek your own doctor. We have nothing to do with any type of medical field. We are not giving
They
medical
didn't
advice.
believe in the doctor. They did not believe in going to the doctor. They didn't believe in tests. They just take this
That's Flo.
some
That's Flo.
potatoes and just only eat potatoes all day long.
I
and
don't
just-
know. See, this is why I can't be a cult leader because I don't have enough patience for dirty ass people.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh.
I think
If we're
Flo's
not
cult
fighting or
is
fucking, you need to keep your biology all the way off of me.
Let me tell you something. All like cults get freaky at some
Taco
point.
Bell.
They start off about like higher self. Next thing you know,
You have to interview this lady.
I am going to. We need to stop talking about this right now. Alchemize energy.
Don't worry, she's not gonna run out of shit to say. I'm telling you.
I
that
don't
right
think
now.
she will either. You're right.
It's a lot, bro. It's so much.
What you need to do is start making like some bullet points on what you want to like dive further into later. See?
Yeah.
This is why I keep you on the payroll.
I know. I know.
You want to go with the health route and all the stupid things that they came up to help people feel better until they put them in a hospice? Or do you want to go the sex route, the salacious route, where we get to hear about all the strange practices about how you sleep with your quote unquote members? I don't know. Who sleep with other members?
Gross. And
Sleep with your
Jakey
members'
Ellie coming in with the big two says flow state equals a rude as fuck.
How did I be rude?
Flo. I don't know. Were you rude?
I don't
Invention
think I was rude.
Truther coming in with the big 5. Thanks for letting me hang. Have a good night, y'all. Whether you believe it or not, Jesus loves you anyway. I try to tell Flo this all the time, and Flo cannot believe that somebody would actually love him unconditionally.
I don't believe that God is his own son.
Oh, stop it. Wrongful Rage coming up with the big 5. Definitely not gay and not in love with Flo, just spreading a little wealth. Anything
It's not gay if
given
it's a
can be
bromance, Wrongful Rage.
recovered. Anything given can be recovered with honest work. I believe that. That's
Except
why
for blowjobs. You can't unsuck this dick.
I
Whoa.
Lord, oh my God.
Flo, I think, remember that a few rewind about 5 minutes ago, somebody said something was pretty dark and you laughed and you said, oops, I shouldn't have laughed.
You said
Yes.
that's
It
not
might have
funny.
been that. It might have been that. And that reminds me of something.
Oh.
You guys remember about reading about the illegal Venezuelans who took over apartment complexes and scared people in America?
In Colorado, yeah.
Colorado, yes. I thought I said Colorado, but maybe I didn't. Something that's kind of inappropriately funny to me when I heard they took those gangs in Colorado from Venezuela and they dropped them off in Ecuador. And I laughed a little bit, after this person told me that. And that's a long way away. That's, there's the there's the country. The country is 2 countries up and over to the right where they belong. And I laughed about it and I thought, oh my God, am I becoming like, is this like laughing at gulag humor? Because we're actually talking about people, not being anti-Semites, of course, but being anti-some ethnicity and sending them back. I'm all for the criminals going back.
I don't think it's
dropping them
ethnicity.
off in the middle of nowhere saying, find your way home. The only thing that makes it funny is that they were criminals.
Yeah, but it's not an ethnic thing. It's you're a gang thing.
Yes.
Well, that's what they're saying. Then you see the news footage. And I was okay with that, even, I guess, as controversial or as much of a moral problem as it was, because I rationalized it. And then when I saw the footage, I saw mothers and brothers and little kids going along with them too, in handcuffs, getting off the plane in Ecuador when they lived in Venezuela. And that put kind of a different spin because, of course, they want you to believe the news. Whoever wants you to believe that only the criminals are being hurt or, made to be uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. That's never
Maybe
true.
due to territories, they weren't able to drop them back off.
Yes, we cannot
Venezuela.
fly to Venezuela. They're a communist country.
They weren't, but think about it. Think about the other aspect too. You say you want to go home. You're in South Africa, and that's the life that you're used to. You want to go home, and they take you, instead of to the United States, they take you to Canada, some province somewhere in Canada. Of course, you're going to be able to find your way back. It's not that far, but you're going to have to pay a bunch of money that you don't have. You have no home. You're a kid of a criminal. You're not the criminal. You're a mom of a criminal. Everybody in the family gets punished. That's why I can relate to what Ghosty was saying a little bit, because it's not just the people who deserve it, so to speak.
But isn't being a
more.
parent, you're accountable to what happens to your children. So you have to know that if you do something illegal and put your child at risk, like that still comes down to you.
I mean, that doesn't negate the fact.
I'm not saying that it's necessarily right to just drop these kids off, whatever.
Kids.
But at the same token, like those parents are responsible for making sure their children are safe.
Who cares about that? That's not it. That doesn't even matter who's to blame. It matters what the outcome is.
Their kid is 21, shot somebody, but he's coming home to mama's house for some sweet enchiladas and a little hug. He goes back out again. So it's a tricky situation because at the same time there's a certain amount of accountability for the kids. Because he's 21.
Mama knows what the kid's doing.
Mama knows.
Maybe. No, hold on a second. No, get the fuck out of here. Why would you just have that assumption built right in like you even have any idea about that?
Well, the hood where I lived at, all the parents knew what their kids were into. When I say kids, I'm talking about grown children. The parents knew what the kids were doing.
Something at all.
Running dope, stealing.
Yeah, and regardless, I don't know. The way that law enforcement goes about doing this shit is I mean, you got to sell yourself a narrative to be okay with all the collateral damage that comes with law enforcement, and then to sit there and go, "Well, they knew what would happen." A lot of times, actually, people don't know.
Right now, it's a scare tactic, is what it is.
It's a scare tactic, but they're actually doing the thing as well.
Chuck, would you rather be told the truth, or would rather be sold a pot of goods when people are being legitimate?
Chuck loves to believe the lies.
What? I didn't hear your whole question, Lindsay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can answer for you. No, Chuck wants to accept the paradigm that's presented to him and is pleasant.
I was ready to do that. I was ready to say, get these Venezuelan gangs the hell out of here in Colorado. They're abusing things. They're abusing the tax system. They're abusing people's goodwill. Get the F out.
I think that whole thing was a setup so that the Trump administration could look like they're doing shit good. That the entire Venezuelan gang story. What's that?
I said thank you. Hello.
Yeah.
I don't know how illegal immigrants are abusing tax systems when they're not getting taxes; they're only paying taxes, right?
Well, they're abusing tax systems. And okay, here's how it works. I'm a homeowner, so I pay.
You have to.
Okay, I'll try to be.
I love like Mexicans like fix my.
Well, she was asking me, right? Because I'm the one who said it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
I go to Home Depot every morning. Like, hey, listen, I need to get this done, and I got $10. Shit.
I loosely meant that and not directly. The way that I'm specifically talking about it is homeowners, landowners get taxed. We pay for the schooling system for illegal immigrants who can't pay and don't pay. We pay for the books. We pay for the whole education, which is not even good enough to begin with because clearly some of them don't even read, write. And they're illiterate at age 13, so they really have to have these basic classes. Another example is they go to the hospital, they give birth to 3 children, they declare what's it called? Indigent.
Yeah.
They declare indigency, and then what Chuck and I pay in taxes that we mean to use for our family and our people at home instead suffice to pay for the 3 babies this lady has. Not that you should leave her at the door and say, too bad, squat down and have the baby right there. We're not helping you, which is what we just now started to do.
That's the issue, though. Why the fuck are we blaming people who are not paying taxes instead of the people that are taking the fucking taxes?
Thank you.
We are. They're taking the taxes.
No, the government's taking the taxes.
Oh, yeah. So when you go to the hospital, for example, it is $1,500 for you just to ride the ambulance. Jose rides the ambulance. No offense to any specific Jose, just to the illegal criminal ones. And you paid for it.
I don't pay for it.
Okay, you don't because you don't pay any taxes because you're a criminal. You're exempt.
No. It gets passed on to the next people. That's why
But there's
that's my example, and
there are several degrees of separation. But like the reason that ambulances cost so much, primarily, before you worry about like whoever you said Jose not paying his $150 ambulance bill, there's like layers and layers.
$1,500 just to ride.
Whatever. My point
ambulance.
is that is not the primary source of the expensive of this.
The government is.
The whole industry is massively inflated. It's the only industry that I can think of where you buy services without even asking what the price is. It's absurd. But
they found that out on Red Book or Red Pad or whatever the hell it is, where they were like, "Oh man, you guys gotta pay for that? Oh my god!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you don't have listen. It cost me $10 to get like some metformin. Like,
oh yeah, that is diabetic.
It's a capitalist society, and so therefore they're gonna like charge top dollar for everything. So
Trump ended the insulin cap at $35 too, right?
That's not that way anymore.
Well, Biden implemented something that like pharmaceutical companies could not charge more than $35 for insulin, and Trump canceled that.
Why?
Oh, nice.
That's because Trump canceled every one of Biden's executive orders.
Pretty much,
he did the same thing when Obama. He did everything Obama did. He was like, "Well, as soon as he
that's life-sustaining medical equipment."
Nope, cut that out, whatever it is, whether it made sense or not. Then he came in, did the same thing. So that's what he does. He erases everything and tries to start all over.
Every president just about does it. When they come in, they automatically cancel out the previous president's executive order.
And fire all the White House
and they
staff.
start over.
Whether the government is doing it and the people who are not legal and did not assimilate in the appropriate way, which we have to do when we go there, or to Italy or to France, or it doesn't matter whether there's a way to do it. And there's rules. So you don't have to go and do stuff like that. Whether it's because of our government or because we're out voting to allocate some of those taxes to the wrong places or the wrong amounts, we always delegate most of it to the military. The fact is that we're the regular people getting screwed. We're legal people getting screwed. That's the
Military is only
screwing us?
13%.
we just discussed, and you made a good point that it's the government. Now, we can screw ourselves again by voting for allotment of funds in a way that's not conducive to our needs, like health. We seem to like to have this huge ass military all the time. That's where it goes first.
Well, because our economy runs off of our military. Us being a central reserve currency is really the source of our economic strength. It's not because we make good shit.
But Flo, this is not a debate. This is not something we're debating. We're simply trying to acknowledge that it is backwards in our country where we're not benefiting from what
I'm trying to explain to you why you're wrong about thinking that these people owe you anything or that they're to blame for the government that's taking money out of you. You wouldn't get any money back if there was less. If there were just less.
I don't think these people owe me anything. They're recipients of the money. They don't owe me anything. It's not their fault.
And if I had my house burned down,
if they weren't here illegally,
if they were here illegally,
if
the
they
whole
were here
mindset is
legally,
I have to do this thing. Why don't you have to do it too? It's ankle biting. It's crab in a bucket. If they don't have to get extorted and robbed like the rest of us, more power to them. I'm all for that.
Well, they still pay taxes. They just don't get any.
I understand that we're on the same side, Ghosty, but you're not helping my point.
Drug tax, like drug?
Oh, wait, I mean, they
And
only pay
Wrongful
taxes.
Rage coming in with
They
the
don't
big
get
gifted memberships over here on this side. Wrongful Rage is spreading the love vast and wide.
He had a long weekend off. It's about damn time.
And then he also comes in with the big 5 on your end. Powdered Dusty. You want to read it?
Ghetto rigging that shit. Duct tape and skill can fix a lot of problems. I don't have any problems.
I think he was referring to the Home Depot runs.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think as far as the children, and we were talking about how people came here illegally and they had children, and so that's on them. They knew that they could get kicked out of the country. But until Trump just came into presidency, children born in the U.S. had birthright citizenships. So there are children who were born here, who have been living here like their whole lives, who are now getting kicked out, and their parents had them here under the assumption that they would be a citizen in this country and they wouldn't be risking their child getting kicked out. So I think that's some of the moral aspect of it.
Can I just talk about the fact that we were talking about all this other stuff, but then I'm a veteran, and then he just took off DEI at diversity equity, and like the first thing that comes up when you sign that that form is, are you a protected veteran? And I am a protected veteran, Gulf War veteran, and now that's like taken away from me. We're talking about like the children of the
Don't you still have military benefits or whatever, right?
Yeah, but I mean, when I get a job, I mean, it used to be a thing where, okay, if you're a veteran, it makes sense. Okay, like hire the veteran, right? Because we're mostly homeless. We're the biggest homeless population in the United States. Veterans, okay? Because people don't want to hire us because they were crazy and whatever, something wrong with it. So, all right, hire the veterans. They're applying for a job. Go ahead and get them a little bit job. They're trying to get a little job, whatever. Get them a little job. Now they took that away. You know what I'm saying? So
was that part of DEI? I guess it would be, wouldn't it? It's a protected class.
Equity, yeah. Listen, you know what I mean, I don't know if this is true, but at the end of your application, when you like apply for a job, at the end they ask you all these questions: are you black? Are you white? Are you LGBT? Are you this? Are you that? Are you a veteran, protected veteran? Are you this? that's what they use to figure out how they're gonna get some money from the government by hiring you. Take that away. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, my last employer got some whatever the government cheese for hiring felons.
But it got kind of weird. One thing I'm like, damn, are you bi? Are you trans? Are you this? Are you that?
Wow.
From the back? Do you take it from the front? Like which way? God dang! Like, how many questions they gonna ask? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know everything they want to ask.
Do you eat ass?
Like, God dang. What difference do it make sexuality though? Why does sexuality have to do with like employment? I don't get that part.
I don't have any idea. I don't know what. Yeah, any of the veteran, I think, is the only one that I could see actually like mattering. The rest you just opt into.
Honey, I've been a white woman for like about 10 years filling out that application.
When I
hit white women every time, like.
And I'm black. I know what you're feeling.
I used to tell people, like, if we were in a car, I'd say if we get pulled over, we're holding hands and you're cooperating, because I can't play any card except for maybe the gay card, and I don't want them searching my shit.
There was a while back, I was filling out an application for something.
I never had to do that, by the way.
And it got to the part about ethnicity or race, whatever you want to call it. And I had to check other, because white was no longer an option.
White erasure?
There was Hispanic, Latino Hispanic. They had it all broke down. If you were Hispanic, you were covered.
Break it down. Are you from Spain, Hispanic? Are you like Latino?
No,
like, well, God dang.
It's not even a race.
well, there's two different questions. There's one where it asks you what race you are, and then there's another one where it asks you just specifically, are you Hispanic? Right?
Yeah. I don't understand it all. I just fill out the
They
papers.
get funds, like someone was saying here, when they hire.
Well, honey, I thought I was like 29% Scandinavian on my heritage test. So I'm 29%
Welcome.
white person. So I was thinking to say,
Did you bring some potato salad with the raisins?
I was thinking to say I'm 29% cracker, but you know I just
Put raisins in potato salad.
29%.
You know what? That's the trope, is that white people put raisins in potato salad, but I've never even seen potato salad with raisins in it.
Me either.
Disgusting.
I have
It sounds
seen
really fucking gross.
I've seen potato salad with little marshmallows in it.
Yeah,
but
that
it wasn't
weird too.
It wasn't white people that was serving it.
How y'all make y'all potato salad with marshmallows and potatoes and all that raisins and stuff in that. You don't do that. What do you do? You putting raisins and stuff into the potato salad?
Not me. Never seen it.
You know that's a big joke in the black community. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll put raisins in our food and stuff.
Yeah. Uncle Patty says raisins go in stuffing. Raisins don't really go in anything. Raisins aren't really good at all. Raisins can be in Raisin Bran, I guess. But if you're eating Raisin Bran, you're probably out of the good cereal.
I mean, if you can't eat the damn thing while it's fresh, what's the use of eating it after it's dry?
Right. Here, you want
some
some old grapes?
There you go. Hit the nail on the head.
Potato salad and raisins? No. I'm not trying to be chewing on raisins when I'm eating potato salad.
Neither are we.
Right? They make listen. We have our own little joke. I'm sorry, we have to make fun.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up. It's funny.
We have a little bit of subject change from raisins to dialysis. We have it. I can't tie these two together. Back to the immigration issue. We have a local we have a local dialysis center. They're limited in the amount of chairs they have. They have maybe 30. And I don't know who knows how much everybody knows about dialysis or not, but it's given to people. You can have, diabetes for a long time and have problems with your kidneys. You can be a drug taker chronically and have problems with your kidneys. There are many different ways that you can have to be a dialysis patient. And you go basically 3 or 4 times a week, and you are hooked up to a machine that filters your blood and the toxins in your blood because your kidneys aren't working to the full capacity. So it takes a long time. You have to sit there for 3 to 4 hours, 3 times. It's a full-time, part-time job. You get the idea. So these seats are very coveted because there are so many people, particularly old people, that need dialysis to live. So again, talking about the life-sustaining medical equipment, this is life-sustaining, very necessary. If you don't have it, kiss your ass goodbye, you're underground. That's how serious it is.
Right.
So about roughly half to 3/4 of the local center here is full of illegal immigrants. And I don't wish anybody, the issue here is not that I'm a racist or an elitist or whatever you want to label. I'm not saying that Hispanic is a race, so whatever you want to label me. But most of the chairs, over half, were taken by illegal immigrants. It costs something around $15,000 a day per person to run these machines. So you have to have insurance and you have to use Medicare, whatever it is you can that you have, especially the old people because they get Medicare for free. Like if they're older than 55.
Medicare is not free.
And first of all, why is it $15,000 a day to run a machine? Come on.
It's an expensive.
Overcharging, man. They overdoing it, man. Why is it 15,000? They lying, man.
So are you saying that the illegal immigrants
it costs us? But what about the cost? Why are they overcharging to run a machine?
That's not really my point here, and I can look up exact numbers I have before, but I'll go look up the numbers.
Are you saying they're giving illegal immigrants free health insurance?
No, I'm not. I didn't get to finish what I was saying though, which was simply
I'm mad that it's 15,000.
Well, let
Because
her
I would assume because we don't have we don't have free health care for all, so I would assume you need insurance or to pay for it. Okay.
They have to pay something like 30% or something like this. I don't know because each case is different, but it's very expensive and it's very sought after. The dilemma here is not really how much it is being paid. Whoever sits in that chair has to pay it via insurance or what have you. It is. Is there an actual order of operations here? If you're a legal immigrant, do you have any more right to life and to a chair than somebody who's from Mexico and doesn't have their proper papers?
Most facilities, they're only obligated to sustain life. They're not obligated to treat you. They're only obligated to stabilize you.
There's not, what she's saying is there's not enough. And people need this regularly. This is a routine thing. There's not enough units. And so you're right. So do citizens have more of a right to it than non-citizens?
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know that
they would have to be paying for it out of pocket.
Pay for that,
which sounds because they wouldn't be able to qualify for state or federal health care, so they would have to be paying for this.
We don't know how they're paying for it. The payment is not the point.
They make them be on.
She's in California.
It kind of is because whoever can pay gets the chair, right? So that's kind of like
they can all pay. Some of them are.
Everyone can pay.
Yeah, it's just a matter of who gets the chair. People fight over the chairs because they want to live too for some strange reason. It's just are their lives just as important as our lives? Wouldn't your automatic answer be yes? That there's no, just because I'm illegal in a different country, I mean less than someone else. But is that how we do it?
If I owned
triage people?
the dialysis facility, I would say I do not want to be in the position of determining whose life is more important. I'm not sifting it out.
Well, you
So
eventually have to pick someone.
No, are we assuming that they don't have dialysis machine in Mexico and
well, they
other
live here.
South
Yeah,
American
they live
countries?
here. Sure,
Cleaner.
they must have them there.
It's local people who are living here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that if you're running a dialysis center, your job is to just give people dialysis. It's not to like check their like and rank them.
But the dilemma is you and somebody else is fighting for a chair, and that person is here illegally. Do you
You
think
said
you
50
deserve
to
it?
75% of the places are fit. Why do so many illegal immigrants have dialysis?
Well,
There's
it's
just
That's
not-
strange.
I live in 83% Hispanic town, and a lot of it's always different. Some of them have problems with their kidneys through I forget what the disease is
it
called.
doesn't like there's just
Valley
it's just
fever?
over. Yeah, it's just overpopulated.
It's called valley fever, and some people have had diabetes for a very long time, and it's high in the Hispanic population.
Okay.
And sometimes your organs will quit working, your eyes, your kidney, different parts, your legs. Some people there had their legs cut off. It's a very cheery place, but you get the idea. These are people that are trying to live, and it's their last call.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think that I don't know who would be. I don't know.
Oh,
I think that I wouldn't expect anybody to want to be in the position of deciding whose life is most important.
That's why I asked you a hard question. Your daughter needs it,
Mm-hmm.
and she's against somebody who's 60 and does drugs, and so his kidney doesn't work very well. Aren't you going to fight? I would fight.
Oh fuck yeah! I'll be dirty as shit. I don't care if I need to get him
Me?
deported. I'll do that shit. But
You just determined that your daughter's life is more important than somebody who.
oh
who-
yeah, I mean, well, it is for sure. But
100%.
I was thinking as if I'm the owner of the dialysis place and I don't know any of you.
It's first come, first serve, and there's a waiting list.
Yeah, no. So if it's me like looking out for my daughter, absolutely everybody there is dying or getting deported.
Whether they're
It's
legal
funny how
or
your
not.
answer changed.
All of them are going to have the lug nuts loosened that night, and in the morning when we go to dialysis, all of them are going to.
Do you see how you're playing God, though?
I don't give a fuck. I'll do that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
you know,
no,
all
I'm
I have-
fine with it.
If it's a waiting list, they had to wait too. And they
Now hold on, it's not even playing God because God's the one who put me in that paradigm and
Well,
made me the way I am.
maybe nothing, maybe biology, maybe science, maybe something.
Whatever it is, you know.
Yes, yes.
But who to say that they didn't wait the same time? They didn't sign up and waited in line.
If it's my daughter, I don't give a fuck when they signed up. I could be the last one there.
So you're saying that even if they like signed up, it should be like, no, bump you.
When it comes to my daughter, I mean, I don't think that anything should be run that way. I don't think that I deserve to be treated with special attention. I mean, maybe I do feel that way a little bit, but
It's clearly.
But what I'm saying is, when I'm deciding what to do, I am not going to respect fairness as much as I'm going to value prioritizing my daughter.
So you just changed, which is pretty much a judgment call. You changed your answer completely because I made it
Yes.
personal, which is
Yes.
contextual, which makes sense. But that's what the contention is here. People are saying, "Hey, I have this this kid is only 12," and other people are saying, "All of you who do drugs and come here because your kidneys don't work because you do drugs, I should be here before you because I didn't do anything to cause my kidney problems."
And
They don't get to say that.
they can say whatever they want.
No,
I would
well, you
expect
know what
them to-
those people do? They go home and they do drugs,
I will say this. Hold
and then
on.
they come back.
So you know they all do drugs. How do you know this person have been working on bridges and building subway systems and everything for the American government, whatever the heck, up until now, and then finally like he ends up with that. You don't know who the. I don't like want to like keep the narrative that every like person that's like in America that's Mexican or like from
That's what it comes down to. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good to
everybody
anyone.
that's come from Mexico is not like this
Pariah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I
we
think
know.
it is. I think the right thing is for everybody to fight for their lives or their family members' lives, and so expect that shit and keep fighting for yours, right? Like that's
Yeah, so if you were, say, you can't get this treatment in Mexico, and you have a kid that needs this treatment, and they can get it in America, you would probably, and like the immigration system is going to take 5+ years, and it's going to cost tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially over this amount of time. You don't have the time, you don't have the money. You're going to come over illegally to get that treatment for your kid, right?
I would absolutely try.
Yeah.
But who's going to pay for it?
So I feel like if
I don't give a fuck at that point.
Old people insurance, which they get whether they're old enough or not, they get it free because of this special circumstance. Medicare.
Yeah.
Is it free or is it
In
like
California, yeah.
It's something like 60/40 or something, or
Isn't it called Medi-Cal? Is that what it's called?
It's Medi-Cal or Medicare. I'm not really sure which one, but it's the one where you're not supposed to get it unless you're 55 or older.
That's
And
Medicare.
Medicaid? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Medicaid is for your poor people.
Say that these people have been in America and now turned 55, so they've been in America for how many years? Or are you thinking that it's come over?
They get the same insurance
at 55 and get insurance and then get like diabetes treatment and just skip the line in front of everybody else. I mean,
Just
where we
have
saying-
diabetes? No, they don't skip the line.
What she's saying is they're flooding the facility, is what
Yes.
she's saying.
Yes.
There's so many that they're flooding it.
Okay, I'll say that.
They don't
all right,
speak
so
English either.
what state is this in?
California.
Okay, California. You're close to like Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I heard California knows how to party.
We do.
That's almost like complaining that. Well, you're almost Mexico. Like we even in Texas we can't really complain.
This is real. This is not a complaint. This is really going on.
No, what I'm saying is that it might be happening, but California probably was once Mexico at some point. Like this was probably a part of like their country as well, but we did our thing and like said, okay, we're gonna cut you off from here. So
The Spanish actually took it from them. We have a lot of Spanish land grants given to the Caucasian people. But no, technically it's not
you're
true.
saying that California was always a Caucasian place?
I'm done.
You
I'm
know
done
what?
talking-
She
talking
wasn't, but
about that.
I'll go with that. I'll say it was just because I think it's an interesting talking point. White people have always been here.
Yes, fucking shit.
And they've owned everything.
And wrong for
They've always owned everything.
I would never go to Mexico or France, say, and expect to use their healthcare system and have their taxpayers pay for everything for me.
Why?
I would because the one in Rome. I have to
You,
abide.
you would die. You would lay down and die before you'd go.
This is not having to do with the dying situation. This is having to do with when in Rome. Why can't people assimilate where they're going? Okay, I need these 10 papers. I need to fill them out. I need to have worked for 8 years before I can get a citizenship. I'm saying that I would cooperate with the rules of the country.
I don't know. I mean,
But
even
imagine
if-
that there's people that like actually were at one point. This was not like another country.
well, we're not even talking about that. Like,
You're talking about Texas.
it's
Even
not
Texas,
anymore though.
you can't be mad about people in Texas that are Mexican that's overflooding Texas because Texas used to be Mexico. So even like Southern California, at one point,
but we took over it.
But everything used to be one continent. But so we're dealing with now, right? And
it's not about one continent. I mean, literally, like certain parts of like Southern like America used to be Mexico.
no, I'm talking about like Pangea or whatever. Anyways,
No, I'm not talking about Pangea. No, I'm talking about like literally.
right,
Imperialism doesn't matter right now.
right. It doesn't. That's the point. Is that it?
Fight and
Ugh.
they were and this used to be Mexico. It was. Like,
Here's the thing. I don't actually at all believe that if you or your loved one needed dialysis badly, that you would just sit on your ass and wait until the paperwork goes through. Actually, I hope that you would not.
They don't.
And
But
they
when
should.
it comes
And they
time
should.
to choose me or someone else, and he caused his situation, and I didn't, or you, and I mean your daughter, and versus somebody who's a drug addict is going to take him while he's not getting dialysis to come back just to get fluid
Drug
drained from
addicts
his
are
body.
people too.
His life is not as important to me if I had to make a choice. You know, you've heard that game that people play about. There's a train coming, and you have a chance to save an old lady, a young kid, and all those questions. Those hypothetical questions about value of life. Sometimes you're in a situation which you really have to judge and value a life. It's not fun. It's not glamorous. It's not fair.
But there's a
Think
clear
about it.
priority structure, right? Like you value you and yours before others.
Well,
Like,
you know what I value? I value wrongful rage. Sending in the Big Ten and says, the world is wicked, the world is suffering. In the darkness where only the glimmer of hope eerily survived. In the eye of the innocence, the wicked do die, bound by the victim of a dubious mind.
that's
Now he's getting poetic.
Oh, and let me
That
say
was the
something about
nicest
this.
way to call us all assholes.
Is that what he did?
Pretty much.
Anyways, memberships, new members. Not everything is set up yet. It maybe you've noticed yet. Give me a little time to get all the videos that are unlisted linked over to the members only thing, and to get the Discord set up. That stuff's in the works still.
I just want to make the point that I like put into the chat. The present day states of California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Wyoming were once part of Mexico. This land ceded to the United States as a result of the Mexican-American War and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. So for us to be mad that the Mexicans are like getting health care, well, this is their land too.
But I mean,
Yeah,
that
but we're talking about
This is not
a
just the
long time
Aztecs.
ago, right? I mean, this wasn't like it was just yesterday
No.
that we
But
took
this-
over
Yeah,
taxes.
but what? So once that war happened, the Mexicans like disappeared.
But who cares about the history? We're talking about survival here. Who gives that?
I get what you're saying about survival, but so just because
Wasn't there a treaty though? I thought we like
She said
purchased.
Yeah, Mexico gave that land up in order to achieve peace.
Yeah.
And they fought the Aztecs and the Spaniards.
Correct.
And nobody was, was given special treatment by natural force. The Spaniards conquered, not us.
So
The
what about the
Spaniards
Native
conquered them.
So do you think the Native Americans deserve?
Well, why you were insisting upon talking imperialism, which is not a problem if you want to talk about that, but it's tangential.
No, I'm
I'm
saying
Native
that,
American.
I mean, if we
I
just
was
like
born here.
based on this war, okay, that was a long time ago, right? So they don't deserve to like get like dialysis or whatever we like set up. But
do
then you have like Native Americans like that are here. Do they deserve to get the same thing too? Because well, guess what? There was like treaties and this, that, the other. My thing is that like at the end of the day,
I
these are
think we
human
do
beings.
offer
They're
Native
human beings
Americans,
they're human
though.
beings with diabetes.
They're
Like,
a different class.
Native Americans
So
do.
screw it, but they're not.
Hold on a
They're-
second, because I think we do offer Native Americans a lot of different things as well. Like even when it comes to college and so on and so forth. Like
As long as they're on the reservation, yeah.
yeah, I
on
think.
the reservation.
Well, I don't
They
know.
didn't get to
No,
college on the reservation.
no, because I know that there are a couple friends of mine who actually, because they were a certain percentage, and they definitely didn't live on a reservation.
Well,
and
look
they
at the
had
whole world.
access.
Sorry, tomato. Go on.
Well, yeah, I think my point is that in terms of Texas, right? And you're saying, well, we took that area and whatever. It's like, well, yeah, I mean that's how all territories are conquered, right? One way or the other, whether we take it by treaty, war,
Texas
whatever.
was an independent country first
Mhm.
before we got it.
Right, but But that doesn't pertain to now. Just because we came, we saw, we conquered, doesn't mean like hundreds of years we suddenly owe free healthcare to every person that crosses the line illegally or does this or does that. That doesn't mean like we owe it to anyone.
But how do you know they're getting it for free?
Oh, I
You're
don't.
saying is chairs. She's
I don't
saying
know.
that my grandma or whoever it is, all the chairs are filled up. You don't know what they paid to sit in them chairs. They probably paid top dollar. They probably like been working all their
It's the
lives,
same price.
building up buildings and doing this and doing
Well,
that.
I know where I used to live up in St. Louis.
Had
They
enough money to
shut
sit
a
in the chair.
they shut a hospital
They had more
down
money to
because
and then
all the poor people were using it for the emergency room as a regular doctor's office, and the hospital was losing so much money because of it. Because
Yeah,
poor
I
people
knew
don't
somebody.
pay.
I knew somebody who had a very severe drug problem who would just go to the emergency room to like get food and stay somewhere for a couple nights.
Wow.
Were they Mexican?
No, it was a white boy,
Sorry, I'm being,
privileged white boy.
let me stop it.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, and we can recognize that anybody could essentially do that, right? But the question comes down to is, are you a tax-paying citizen? Are you,
I don't
are
think
you
we
a
could do that.
positive part on the society, or are you here to just drain it? And that's whether you are from here or not. That goes in
Listen,
any
most of our
direction.
labor does not come from tax-paying citizens.
And I reject the
Most of our
worldview
really
where
like
tax
really
paying is
hard
a
labor.
virtue.
Go ahead. What you saying?
Pardon?
I reject the narrative or the worldview in which being a taxpayer is a virtue. The tax system, that's the leech.
No one said it was a virtue, though.
But
It's
most of our
treated
labor
as
does
a
not come
virtue.
from tax-paying citizens. Most hard labor comes from immigrants, prisoners, people like that. They're not paying taxes.
Well,
Like even
inmates,
during the
prisoners don't get
fire,
any
you
money.
know who came over there and like was putting them bitches out was convicts coming out the prison system that figured out how to. They taught them how to like to put out fires. Like so, we talk about like the tax-paying. I'm a tax-paying citizen. Man, most tax-paying citizens ain't doing all that. We ain't up there putting out no fires, doing no real hard labor. We working in little like cushy jobs and whatever. And the real people that's really doing the hard work, making some stuff, building bridges, doing this are like the people that's not paying taxes. So let's stop it with that.
Wait, that doesn't
What?
matter though, because people are still contributing to the society. Like just because you're not
The
doing,
very people that you're saying that probably have to go to the dialysis machine are the ones that probably they didn't get like they didn't get no tax benefits or whatever. They ain't got like no pit. They ain't got like no SSI coming in when they get like 65. They ain't got that coming on. You know what I'm saying? But they was the ones that built and did all this and did all that. So let them go ahead and get their little dialysis. That's all they gonna get. Like SSI when you get 65.
They're not working on big projects like that.
How do you know that?
He's actually right because the big projects are done by union.
Yep. And they're usually a government contract somewhere in there, which means they are audited for compliance.
Yep.
In which states? Michigan.
Yeah, because
Places
essentially you're
Illinois,
getting
I know
like
it.
They don't have no
yeah,
union in Texas.
if you're building bridges, then more likely it's through some kind of government contract of some sort, and therefore you're going to be under compliance and auditing, which means everybody you do have on the pay system needs to be contracted on too.
Damn, please. Listen, you don't remember the whole thing where they had all those people like I think that the governor said or somebody said some stuff and all the people walked off the job of all those like houses and everything and like then the guy begged them to come back.
I wonder if they can hire them as contractors and get away with that.
Remember in Florida, what was that situation? Are we all like forgetting that there was a whole time in Florida where the governor said some or the whoever the hell guy said some stuff, wild stuff about the whatever, and they walked off the job, honey, left everything. And this guy was up here like, man, oh my God, please come back. And they came back and started working again. They did a strike, and all the workers went off that beach.
I have no idea on that one.
You ain't never. Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Are you talking about the railroad thing?
No, I'm talking about like the
strikes
actual
happen quite a
workers,
bit.
and they did a strike. Listen, in Florida, whatever this guy's name is, I don't know what his name is. Bush, I don't know. I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
Well, Jed Bush was governor a few years back.
Foreign workers, and honey, they all walked off the job simultaneously, and he had to beg them to come back.
Don't know. Never heard of it. I guess.
Let me go look it up. I'm gonna show y'all.
I don't know. I think it's the same effect. I still think U.S. citizens who, like, I think we need to prioritize ourselves before we prioritize anybody else. I think
I agree.
overall, we have too many. We have too many in poverty. We have too many children with empty stomachs. We have, jail systems that are too full.
This is why I get so fussy about the tax thing, because obviously that money's not being used right. It's put in foreign aid. It's put in, I know somebody personally who during Katrina, was it Katrina? Anyway, yeah, I think
that hit New Orleans. Yeah.
They have a big company in Colorado actually, but their truck or their company was being hired to deliver truckloads and truckloads of gravel and just back it in the ocean and dump it.
Huh?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
DeSantis, I found it.
Supposedly the purpose was to bring in materials to like reduce flooding or something, like to build barriers.
Right.
But in reality, like they didn't have anything set up down there, so they just have them back into the bay and dump it.
Who is Illumination Expert? Oh, you ding dong! I fucking hate you.
I'm always afraid to jump on here because
You should be afraid.
Lord.
You should fucking be afraid.
I just wanted to say the points you guys are.
Thank you. We appreciate your short comment.
All right, go ahead.
Very good.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that
concise.
We can hold
I like it concise.
We can hold the bureaucracies and the corporatocracies in our country responsible for that concept of labor being void here now, because I think as a country we became more of a production market economy as opposed to a labor market economy. Like our companies produce the market for the labor around the world, and these companies exported these jobs out to Asia and other places, which in the long run affected Americans, like Sarah was just saying, people being poor, the wealth gap between the lower middle class and the upper middle class and the rich. So I think really the people to blame are like the politicians and the people who ran these companies that saw it was cheaper to export the jobs.
That's capitalism though, right?
Yeah, no, I have no issues with the concept of capitalism, but what I am talking about is like we're over here trying to solve everybody else's problems across the pond and in and out and all over the place. And yet for some reason here, like we have our own variation of issues across the board. And like, you can't pour from an empty cup. We would be an even stronger and more supportive country externally if we had our internals on lockdown, and we can't even agree on what a woman is. So I think that what I'm saying is I think that we should get down to like children should not be going to schools that don't have air conditioning units. I think fuck
them kids.
I think honestly, God, I'm so sick. I think
you
honestly
sound terrible.
Yeah. I think honestly the number one priority for our country should always be the children across the board. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because that is your future. That is what is going to be managing your country later on. But that's also going to be the people paying the taxes and putting us all in the old folk homes. right? And I think that if we put all of our sole focus in on our children and where their future lies, the rest of it's going to fall into place. And then those children, we're going to have higher percentages of children succeeding and doing better things and not starving and ending up in jail and doing drugs and all this other shit that will actually end up with more people doing better things. And then now we have something even more to offer to the world. And then we can finally externalize, and worry about other countries. But I'm so fucking tired of us worrying about what everybody else is doing. And yet we've got our home. Like, that would be like me going to my neighbor's house and cooking her dinner, but yet my own kids at home, like, are eating their own sandwiches that they had to kind of put together haphazardly. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I agree. I've been arguing for years. I think one of America's biggest failures is not putting more money into our public education system.
Oh God, I knew you were
Well,
going to say that.
I wouldn't even say the public education system. I would say ensuring the kids have shoes on their feet and food in their bellies and clothes on their backs, and they're like, we're not throwing kids all over foster care left and right into bad situations and blah 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 blah. Like, we're not worrying about that stuff, and I think that should be our top fucking priority. And it's pathetic that kids get shoveled around and it can't even have medications and things like that, and all of this shit. Like, I just think it's absolutely bogus.
For
That's
sure.
why we
I
need
think
work
the
camps.
term children are the future are so important, right? Because like children are the future. And I remember this interview I saw when I was in school about this KGB guy who defected from Russia. His name was Yuri Bezmenov, I believe.
Uncle Yuri.
Yeah, Uncle Yuri. And he used to basically state that like Rome fell from within. The only way to take out the United States is from within. And our youth is the most vulnerable. And I often indicate social media these days and how it's affected our youth over the years.
Hence the purpose of TikTok.
This is what I think should be top priority. I think that get some peppermint oil, some Maline, take the Maline capsule, take the peppermint oil and eucalyptus and put it on a pot. Take the oil and boil the pot with some water, and then that eucalyptus and peppermint will go through your whole house. It'll make your nose like clear up, and then like take the Maline, like this little capsule of Maline. It's called Mullein, Mullein, and take that, and that should clear up your sinuses.
Thank you.
I told her to just quit doing coke.
Oh, no. We got another crispy.
Good evening.
I didn't know you were feeling that bad.
The more I talk, the worse it gets. Like,
Flo, read the super chat.
This one's on my end, so Flo doesn't.
Oh, well, I was trying to save your voice.
Oh, care packet.
I got it. I got
my
it.
little witch care pack. I mean, I'm a witch. I'm about to send you my little witch care pack.
No, Lindsay, no hate was meant in the poem. It was about the obfuscation of hope in the minds of the victim of their own mind. Victims often see hope as an illusion or unattainable.
Your mic is peaking, by the way.
Because he's too close to it. He was like,
Yeah, it's constantly moving down. I have a struggle.
Thank you, Wrongful
Struggle
Rage.
bus.
That was
Yeah,
what is going on? That's funny.
Yeah, it's only because he just was on top of it.
Did somebody check his papers before you let him in?
No, I'm an illegal.
Oregano oil, raging tomato, oregano oil. Awesome. If you have like a bacteria or any kind of like a thing like that, oregano oil.
She's probably got a yeast.
And this is not a medical show.
This is not.
This is now a medical advice.
This is not medical advice. We are not giving medical advice of any sort. Shut up, Ruffle.
We're just baking
People
bread.
get strikes for that shit. Don't say that. This is not medical advice.
Show.
This is not.
We're just a bunch of dummies.
I want to know medical advice. I'm just giving some herbs.
I know they'll strike the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
yeah. I've had a couple friends go get strikes for it.
I wonder why I
for
don't go live very much anymore.
I got a warning just like a few weeks ago for medical shit.
Yeah, they take that one real serious.
Oh yeah, this is not legal and medical advice for serious is though.
Oh Jesus. But I don't
Spicy
know.
food. Spicy food and tea.
Yeah, I did have I had some actually some jalapenos on a sandwich the other day. The
It was
person
probably the kids, man. These kids are everywhere, and there's all these kids around them too. They're just
Oh
touching everything.
yeah. The minute the kids like start the
sick.
school season, like it's gonna happen, and the winter time's always the worst. But that's all you see walking, around is like little snot-nosed assholes, and you're just like, how many viruses can I pick up from you today?
All you need is you just need an all-day throat lozenge.
Was that an offer?
Any logger with the big
I'm not
five.
gonna lie to you, y'all. I had a good time, you guys.
Hey, did you get give me your email backstage or something so that we can do this?
Okay.
So you can tell me about the cult.
Yeah.
Or however you want me to get a hold of you.
I just put it in there. Shouts out, you guys, and yeah.
All right, yeah.
Not with that cult. It's gonna blow your mind.
All right.
Right. Thank you, Tomato.
Absolutely.
But I also put like a little like thing in there back for you. About what you should do.
Oh, yeah, she gave you a recipe.
Some natural.
I haven't met you before, but can I email you about the cult also, and can we talk about that?
She's not recruiting.
You want me to recruit you for the cult? What?
No, just to talk about it if you're interested.
What's the question? You have a question before I go?
Well, no, I mean for content, like just.
Are you trying to pilfer my content, man? Just take down her email address and have the decency to sneak in an email on the back end.
That's no. See, I'm the classy guy that just puts it out there in the front end.
She doesn't want to go on with somebody whose mic is all bomy and weird and whose video is laggy.
Would you guys let the girl go?
Then she probably didn't like you. But...
And my little witch friend, you're always welcome to the panel anytime.
Much love. We know how to heal you. We're healers.
I know. I say we praise the witches because they keep us healthy, and then
Girl, I'll hit you up.
And then they turn around and curse us.
I'll hit you up. I think you're a healer.
Okay. Much love, guys. Peace.
See you later. And NE Logger coming in with the big five. The reason we need to have borders isn't strictly economic. America has a right to its own culture and has a right to defend it. Well, I think that's a good way to say that.
Well, that's because the people don't want to assimilate.
Maybe. And Mr. Pie coming over on Flow State's side.
What'd he do? What'd he say?
Racist stuff.
Flow State deported my neighbors for Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. No, my original Coca-Cola guy got deported. This was years ago. Shout out Romero.
Oh, you know Romero? Oh, yeah. He's a sweetheart of a guy.
Wait a minute. That's Paul's buddy's name.
There's probably more than one Romero.
Like Jose?
I bet so.
And Mandy, I'm presuming you're talking about type 2 diabetes because type 1 diabetics, it is actually genetic. There's nothing you can do or change. There's nothing your parents could have done when they made you, when your mother was pregnant. There's nothing she could have done differently when you were born and raised. There's nothing they could have done any different. It is a gene, and
genetic,
it sits dormant until it feels like popping its nasty head out, and then it pops its nasty head out.
What are you talking about? Herpes?
No, diabetes.
No, what the fuck?
And then one day it just pops up, and now you're officially a type 1 diabetic. But if you are speaking to type 2 diabetes, yes, that is actually. And you know what is irritating to that idea is people that get type 2 diabetes, you did it to yourself, but also it can be cured, right? You can fix it. Whereas type 1, you just get it and that's it. Your pancreas just says, I don't feel like working anymore.
Yeah, and the insurance companies use that, what you just said, Sarah, as a huge loophole to prevent manageable disease from being covered, like smokers or type 2 diabetes. They say it's manageable. So if you're in such a horrible condition, you probably could have managed it better. So we're just not going to cover this.
Simple shit like that is why I don't believe in God. Or if there's a God, I don't believe he's like a good God. Like, why wouldn't you just make the type 1 curable and the type 2 not curable? Like, what the fuck?
They are
Ghosty, I
making.
didn't
They
see you there.
are. They are actually
don't think
doing
I've-
a lot of research.
met with you before.
Diabetes medicines and monitors and all sorts of technology to it. It is every 5 years it gets better and better and better. And it's actually expected that within the next 10-15 years you might actually have a cure. I know they're working on it's like some kind of beta
Beta blocker.
Beta boy.
no some type of
I think that's what they call it. Beta blocker.
maybe it could have been. That doesn't sound right, but some type of beta something in the system that they're in human testing trials now in clinics for it.
Since I'm a conspiracy theorist, I have to bring this up. Do you guys remember the Canadian couple that invented insulin? They were working on curing diabetes and were found dead in their bed of natural causes.
Did you say invented insulin?
Oh.
Yeah, they came up with how insulin used to. Come on, dude, don't do that to me. Don't do the technical thing to me. It was a Canadian couple that were accredited for coming up with insulin being used in the medical field.
And no, I just don't know what you're talking about. I'm not doing anything to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. It happens all the time on here. You know how it goes, bro.
Yeah, but
you got a complex.
To me, the thing that you're saying.
Let me find their names real quick because everyone bullshits on here.
I haven't heard that about insulin, but I've heard similar conspiracy about like AIDS cures being developed that like people just don't want released for some reason.
It was Frederick Banting and Charles Best in 1921, and Mr. Best and his wife were working on a cure for type 2 diabetes through the form of medicine. And they were also the ones that discovered how you could use insulin in the medical field to keep people in diabetes alive, with diabetes alive. And they were found dead of natural causes in their bed. And I always just thought that was really weird because they were like on the cusp of figuring this out, and all those research funding programs just got shut down after their death.
2 people die of natural causes on the same
Clinton
day.
Of something, right? Or
like a Clinton kill list thing. I don't know, dude. I have a personal connection with diabetes because my father suffered from it and he died a few years ago from it. And he worked 7 days a week. Like, I'm sure he could have taken care of himself better, but he had a whole family to take care of. And like going to dialysis 3 times a week, the kidney center, like I got to see all of that. So I think there's been a huge advantage. A huge. Hold on, really quick. Let me just finish, bro. Let me just finish.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think there's been a lot of advantage that the medical industry, especially big pharma, has taken advantage of in that regard. Like people who are sick, instead of actually coming up with cures, it's not profitable, as opposed to just treating them and making sure they keep coming back. That's all I was trying to state.
So it sounds like you figured out the actual strategy of the big picture medical industry. It sounds like you figured it out. So I don't need to placate you for anything else about that and talk about like, oh, hey, these people figured out, hey, this thing where we can cure this or that, because you know that it doesn't matter.
Well, I think there's a lot of red flags. That's all I was trying to say. Like, I think that's why naturopaths are becoming more popular every year, because those doctors will try to find natural
100%.
remedies as opposed to just issuing you a pill or, offering you a surgery.
Wait, hang on. When you're saying those doctors, that's
Well, what do you mean? If you go to an emergency room, you're not going to find a naturopath. You're going to find physicians, surgeons. Those aren't naturopaths,
Yeah,
right?
and even I mean, even if you're a diabetic, right? You could forego taking insulin, but you just have to do a whole lot of exercise to get your glucose down.
And you want to get into a DO, not an MD, a DO that's on your side to help you, right?
What's a DO?
They're a pain in the ass too,
It's
though.
it's out of Latin. It's like MD generally means medical doctor versus DO is like doctor of osteopathy. The acronyms actually mean stuff in Latin, and that's not what it means. But that's generally what what it means in the lay world. Is it doctor of osteopathy is like somebody who like holistically versus a medical doctor, which is an MD that is going to look for the best path forward.
The one I had though would withhold stuff that worked for me. The DO.
For the record, we're gonna go for about 10 more minutes, guys, and then I gotta get to bed.
Oh, I jump on and I scare everybody away. Don't worry about it.
It actually is your mic, exactly.
It's all you. No, I'm already sick as it is, and I still have to get up for work in the morning. So
She's just being a
You should have went to sleep long ago.
Well,
I feel bad.
It was a good conversation tonight. Nobody was screaming, so I was actually enjoying it.
I apologize.
So wait, is this? I thought this was Flow State's.
He's dual streaming off of mine. We do that a lot. You never know whose panel you're actually going to end up on anymore because so many people dual stream. And most people are kind enough to pin the host stream at the top of the chat.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that at all today, did I?
So you guys are by Pants2All?
Yes.
Grumple is not live right now. Just FYI, just 100%. Grumple is not live, so y'all gotta pin this on Sarah and Flo.
Oh, I could see. And our dear witch friend she's still dual streaming too, which it's fine. We're near the end anyways. And she did her time, so. But yeah, it's good. I can see who all connects on.
Why are you stalking us?
You talking to me?
No.
Oh, come on, dude. That's like a girl being all sleazy saying, "Why are you staring at me like that?"
Flo, I got you because of
Thank you.
racism.
They're being racist against me.
No, I got you because of my racism. That's how this happening. That's how this is happening right now.
You're being racist against. Must be against
you.
AJ. AJ, where'd you go?
No.
I didn't even bring it up tonight. What the fuck?
Flo, you are way too gringo, and I'm being racist against it right now. There we go.
Am I still gringo?
Yeah.
Even after that noise?
I mean, yeah, that made it worse.
It's like people in public complaining about being recorded. Like this is fair game, man. Especially when you hit the link. Like at that point, a person on the opposite end needs to know who they're dealing with because of bombers and all that crap. Like, you know,
the hospital ER I was at today, they had big signs posted. You pull out a camera, you're denied service.
well, isn't that technically private property though? Like even commercial, like Walmart, they can trespass you because it is corporate private property.
It is private property.
You can refuse service to anyone, but in an ER though, maybe in a regular doctor's office, but in an ER, I don't know if you can necessarily, in an emergency situation, I don't know if you can necessarily turn down.
You'll just get shit treatment.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we know that anything that we say tonight on the internet won't be recorded forever.
Wait,
yeah, I was saying that in Flo's chat on his second account that like even if you're an illegal immigrant in the United States, like medical treatment will not be denied to you, even if you're like bleeding out on the street without papers. If somebody calls 911 and the ambulance shows up,
I was just thinking that.
They have to test you. You know, like that's one thing people need to realize. In most countries, that's not the case.
They only have to stabilize you.
Yeah, but in most countries they don't, Chuck. And I think in regards to the previous conversation, that's why so many people will flock here when they're like dying or on dialysis, because there is a loophole. And instead of blaming them, maybe we should look within and look at our system and why it's even allowing such things to happen.
Maybe we ought to just shoot first and ask questions later.
I think he low key called him Shrek instead of Chuck. I heard that.
Yeah, no, AJ, you got to watch AJ. He's slick with it.
Yeah, no.
What are you
AJ
talking about? Hey, you ever heard of
Why?
John McPhee?
No,
He was called the Sheriff of Baghdad. They call him Shrek, bro. He's a badass.
No, I'm on board with both of these conversations. Like both of them. Like make me like take a side. Come on.
We're gonna take your side. Speak.
Oh.
Look into the camera.
No.
Look into my eyes. There you
Make
go.
it more racist, and then I'll be on board. Okay?
How come you always have a delay on your camera?
Just he's a robot. He's a robot.
He's in third world country. That's why.
I'm not sure.
He's AI. So
That's third world. That's that third world internet.
Just make it more racist, and I'll help you out. It's fine.
There's
You know what?
your
When
cue.
people say, what's kind of funny to me is people say this is a third world country. We're like the third world from the sun. So why do they say that? Because fucking Earth is awesome.
Is he really asking?
You're ate the fuck up, dude.
He doesn't know what third world country means, or
I mean, why do they call it that?
No.
It's not a totally invalid question.
It's the irony. It's the irony of it. I was talking about the Earth, like we're the
Mr.
third
Pie,
world from the sun.
Mr. Pie, this isn't the audience for that particular joke. Just FYI.
Okay.
I got it.
Whatever.
This
Went over everyone's head.
This isn't the place for that one.
We're not tripping enough.
No, I got you, Mr. Pie. You're fine.
Well, I got it too. I'm plenty ate up.
Are you saying I'm not?
No, Flo, you don't placate him. It wasn't funny. I'm letting.
No, it wasn't funny. It was amusing. It was mildly. It was amusing.
Oh, that's good. That's like the mild version of funny. It's amusing.
if you have to explain it, it's not funny.
I just set up a new stream.
Sweet, I'll set up a raid.
You want to
know what I like
dump?
to-
Sarah, I hope you feel better soon, man. Being sick fucking sucks.
Take some
and it's been
ivermectin,
like
quercetin.
it's been like this for all week now. The symptoms are coming. Oh no.
I heard arsenic does wonders.
She held the sneeze back.
Sarah,
I was so ready to
past
go.
week,
God bless you.
I had flu plus pneumonia.
Mhm. You want a cookie?
I mean, what are you offering or what?
No. Just making
Then-
sure there's
Then no.
no expectations set up here.
But I mean, if you were offering a cookie, I might be interested.
I'm not that nice.
No, I'm aware.
Um,
This bitch.
Flo, is it on powder, Dusty? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Bears. Okay. Who's got the echo?
Your
that's me,
face has
sorry.
echo.
I was
Oh.
muted.
No.
Ghosty, it was a pleasure to actually be on the panel with you. I've seen you a bunch of times. You are an awesome debater. I look up to all of you guys for having the balls to put your faces on the internet and do
I'm
this.
gonna dip.
God bless you. I'm gonna get off. Chuck, I
go.
love you too. I saw you cammed up earlier. That's a bitchy
Yep.
weird, brother. Love you, man. Sarah, feel better soon. Flo, I'll probably see you on the next stream. Love you, man.
Thanks,
Yep.
Bridget.
I'm leaving so
Face.
Sarah can go.
I put
to
the
bed.
link backstage. My people will raid over. I think Sarah's going to raid over. I put the StreamYard link backstage.
Mr. Pie, your final thoughts to the panel, please.
Sorry, I got here late. I threw a bad joke, and I'm looking for the link in the back because I'm kind of that silly that I never look at the back chat ever.
Under private chat.
Gotcha.
On your private.
Anyways,
chat.
you can kick me. I'll find it. I'll go to Flo's.
Any final thoughts besides what you just said?
You're pretty. Get well.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, all right.
Simping ain't easy. Good night.
All right. Go play on Vrumflows. Grumple. Final thought.
I'm gonna leave, Sarah. Thank you. Feel better. Good night.
All right. See
Thank
you,
you.
Christy. And Grumple to you. Final thought.
All the self promotion, blah blah blah. I mean,
blah blah blah.
You have a great night, Sarah. I'll leave it at.
I shall. All right. Bye, Grumple. And to all of you all, I'm too sick to care. I'm too sick to say anything, so fuck off.
A long time ago, in a YouTube world full of keyboard warriors, many monsters and trolls lurked in the chat rooms. They thrived on arguments amongst each other until one day, a heroine rose from the ashes. She was made from the tears of beta bitches and the sweat of alpha male gym guys. Throughout the centuries, this keyboard warrior princess showed up in many forms. She slayed many demons along the way. By the light of the moon, she led the simp army into battle. Wielding her sword, she fought through the dark forests. With each new era, the monsters evolved. The keyboard warrior princess grew stronger, with new skills to bring them down. The world around her advanced, but so did she. Her heroism became known to society as technology advanced, and with each new generation, she had to learn how to blend in to keep her identity hidden. Now known as the Raging Tomato, this keyboard warrior princess fights for justice in every debate. She fights for freedom, for moderator bias, and she fights for your ability to battle on an open panel for your beliefs. She protects the simp troopers from destruction. She fights to create peace among troll wars. She storms the battle zones without hesitation and leaves the battleground with her pockets full of souls. Are you ready to battle your fellow trolls? Are you ready for a moderator to give you time to talk? Are you ready for justice, peace, and a fair fight? Tune in every Monday night to watch your friends duke out their issues, or join the open panel so that you can fight the good fight and find resolution with your peers.